She was born into a world where expectations were already written for her. From the moment she could walk, society whispered rules into her ears. Study hard, get a good degree, find a respectable job, marry well, keep everyone proud. Her name was never really hers. It was just daughter, student, wife, mother, roles given to her one after another, and she followed them, every single one. As a child, she loved painting. She would spend hours with colors on the floor, drawing skies that didn't exist and faces that smiled back at her from the paper. One day, her father found her sketchbook. He looked at the pages, sighed, and said, "Father, it's beautiful, but painting won't feed you. Focus on science. Be practical." So, she closed the book. And from that day on, her dreams began to shrink. In school, she chased grades because that's what made her teachers proud. In college, she chased a degree that others told her was safe. In her 20s, she chased a career that sounded respectable in society's eyes. Every step was like running in a race, but it wasn't her race. It was a track designed by others, and she simply ran because everyone else was running. Then came marriage. Society had written another chapter for her. Marry a good man, settle down, raise a family, and keep your reputation clean. So she did. She smiled at the wedding, even though her heart asked quietly, "Is this what I really want?" Years went by. She built a home, took care of her family, and worked hard at her job. From the outside, it looked perfect, but inside, she felt hollow. One night, she sat alone in her living room after everyone had gone to sleep. The silence was heavy. Her thoughts whispered, inner voice. When was the last time you did something for yourself? When was the last time you chose your own dream? She realized she had become like a puppet, dancing to the pull of invisible strings. Strings tied by family, by society, by comparison, by fear of judgment. And for the first time in her life, she asked herself, "What do I truly want?" The next morning, she walked past a small art exhibition on her way to work. Inside, paintings covered the walls, bright skies, deep oceans, faces full of life. She stood there for a long time, staring at the colors. Her heart beat faster, tears filled her eyes. A young artist approached her and asked, "Artist, do you paint?" She shook her head slowly. "I used to, a long time ago." Artist: "Then why did you stop?" Her lips trembled, but no words came out. That moment hit her harder than years of silence. She had given up her dream, not because she wasn't capable, but because she was told it wasn't practical. That night, she went up to the attic. After searching through old boxes, she found her childhood sketchbook. Dust covered the cover, but inside, the colors were still alive. She sat on the floor, took out a pencil, and began to draw again. Her hand trembled at first, but slowly the lines flowed. For the first time in years, she felt free. When her family noticed, they were confused. Her husband frowned. "Why are you wasting time on this? You have work, responsibilities." Her relatives whispered, "What's the point? She's too old to start again." But this time, she didn't close the book. This time, she didn't let the strings pull her down. She replied gently but firmly, "For years I lived everyone else's life. Now I want to live mine." She began painting a little every day. Her room filled with colors again. She shared her work quietly online. And slowly, people began to notice, not because she was trying to impress them, but because her work had life, passion, and authenticity. She was no longer running someone else's race. She had finally stepped onto her own path. One evening, while painting a sunset, her daughter came into the room and asked, "Daughter, Mama, why do you paint so much?" She smiled and said, Because for a long time, I forgot who I was, and now I'm remembering." Her daughter picked up a brush and joined her. And in that moment she realized the greatest gift we can give to the next generation is the courage to follow their own dreams. Life will always try to hand you strings to control you. Parents, teachers, friends, society, they will all tell you what success should look like. But here's the truth. The world doesn't need another copy of someone else's dream. The world needs your dream. Don't waste years living a life that doesn't belong to you. Don't wait until silence fills your heart before you ask yourself, what do I truly want? Because the moment you choose your own path, even if it's small, even if it's slow, you will feel alive again. So ask yourself today, are you living your life, or are you just dancing to strings you didn't tie? Remember, happiness doesn't come from following society's script. It comes from following the quiet voice inside your heart, the one that whispers your true dream.